The movie Sinners, Oscar winners, and one of the highest grossing films of this decade. One major element of this film is its depiction of the early relationships in this country between Black Americans and East Asians. The relationship has been complex since the first landings of modern East Asians in California in 1587 to 1763, when Filipino settlers established a small fishing settlement in St. Malo, Louisiana. In the book by Fred Ho and Bill V. Mullen, Afro-Asia, it explains the revolutionary, political, and cultural connection between Black Americans and Asian Americans.
And we witnessed this, like the relationship between Martin Luther King and Thich Nhat Hanh, and the relationship between Bruce Lee and Raymond Glover.
That would later ostracize Bruce Lee out of his own community.
Bruce Lee loved him. Jesse Raymond Glover was born in 1935 in Seattle, Washington. Growing up, he faced tough challenges, including racism and bullying, which led him to study judo for self-defense. By the late 1950s, he had become skilled in the art and was already teaching others. In 1959, his life changed when he met Bruce Lee, who had just arrived from Hong Kong. Glover became Bruce Lee's very first student, training with him in parks, homes, and wherever they could find space. He later served as Bruce's assistant instructor and eventually developed his own style called non-classical Kung Fu.
The assassination of Malcolm X shook the Black community.
And on March 5th, 1965, Time Life magazine published its feature story within its magazine on the assassination of Malcolm X. And the article's cover picture shows a woman of Asian descent holding Malcolm's head during the violent event. And behold, this woman had more in common with Malcolm when it came to fighting for the freedom of the people.
The friendship between my grandma Yuri and Malcolm X is a great example of the power of solidarity and knowing more about your history and how our stories are connected. Yuri Kochiyama was a lifelong activist, a community organizer, and my grandma. Yuri was imprisoned into concentration camps in the beginning of World War II, I think around 18 years old. 1960s, my grandparents moved into public housing in Harlem. It led them to get involved in a lot of civil rights movements. I don't think we understood how unusual it was that, our time with grandma was going to marches and demonstrations and making signs and, all kinds of stuff. While she was at that point a civil rights activist, she would later say meeting Malcolm was her political awakening. He came to visit her at her home at Manhattanville Projects because there was a group of reporters and Hiroshima and Nagasaki bomb victims visiting who were on a peace study mission. And he really understood the connection between their experience and what was happening to Black people in America. When Malcolm X went on Hajj to Mecca, he sent 11 postcards to my grandparents. And you could literally trace what's happening with him, his own evolution. They were in each other's lives at a really critical time.
Everybody's fight must be to stop wars, racism, hatred, and the dehumanization of humanity.
You would think, since both of our community's revolutionary icons had deep relationships, unlike other communities who have claimed to have stood in solidarity with us in the past, the East Asian and the Southeast Asian have a provable history of solidarity with us. So why now the disrespect? Asian Americans in an Anti-Black World by Clarice Jenkins breaks it down extraordinarily, showing how even in the 60s, couples were afraid to take photos together in fear of being taunted, or even worse. Now, being that I am an LA baby and now a Bay Area transplant, I'm noticing something very peculiar.
It's not hard to admit that a majority of what drives the Bay Area's culture is Black culture, right? But what you'll see is a lot of Asians that refuse to acknowledge this. Instead, anything that is Black influence, they'll call Bay Area culture. It becomes an umbrella term, you see that? And instead, things that are Filipino influenced, Cambodian influenced, Vietnamese influenced, those acknowledgements get to stay. But there's a lot of Filipinos up there that love to throw around the N-word.
Just know we bouncing out. The Asian niggas going crazy. What they talking about? East Oakland, we're connected when we headed south. LA to the fucking back.
Turn off that bullshit!
Why? Because they got Black friends and they're in a dance crew. Right? Like, it's so different being in the Bay saying it because everybody in the Bay says it.
Niggas think they playing till it's raining where they laying at. Hit my phone, got the line on the fish scale. Bang.
Turn off that bullshit!
Action. Blue vest, dick is top dog sporting hot today. Ice chain, BBS, SRT.
Turn up that bullshit.
Because when I'm at Dre, my ninja, going dumb in a lundy like my boggle, huna. Ain't worried about my ops, man, they faking a splendor. Itty bitty city by the water, ultimate, and we got the place jumping like a fucking pogo stick. Playing D-Lo, give a fuck about no hoe, bitch. And I'm always with a band, but I'm solo trick. Wave a stick, kinda staying on some polo shit. Get the hell in my way, I'm from the Bay.
Turn up that bullshit.
LA doesn't have an N-word pass. They don't. The raza in the Bay Area, we have the N-word pass. Straight up. Straight up. I'm just keeping it real. Texas does too.
Let me all alone. Niggas claim to say, acting like the words nobody know. You fuck with suckers, be so proud on your ass getting
Change nigga, old leeching ass little lame nigga said fuck it her, fucking man, CTP,
Turn up that
It
bullshit.
means something different up here than it does to the rest of the world. But guess what? Their families are MAGA. And what really grinds my gears is when these fucking losers date black women, bring them around their racist families, and expect their girlfriend to regulate the racism stuff. So keep your foot on their necks, but no, you have so many fucking cowards that want to embrace black culture. They want to listen to hip-hop music because they love it. They love the streetwear. They start talking in a black accent. Oh no, it's not a black accent, it's a Bay Area accent. Kiss my ass, bro. It's a black accent, and you know it.
And the appropriation has transcended physical aesthetics as well. The self-hatred and the cosplaying is serious. It's damn near a form of self-hatred. You've actually gone as far as to foresee your beard. And these are the same people of this generation that wouldn't even be caught dead sitting next to your black ass. Oh shit, we got pick-a-ping king shrimp.
Waves by perming their hair. A specialist barber uses metal heating tongs and a comb to twist rows of hair follicles into mini curls. The mini curls replicate thick afro hair and create the waves look. The full process includes a scissor buzz cut and perm and takes around 1 hour to complete. After perming the hair, the barber washes the client's hair and leaves the customer with waves that last as long as 2 months. Would you?
Fuck no! In the book Trans-Pacific Anti-Race, it explains the solidarity, yet and still there is an issue.
Criticizing Bay Area Asians for saying the N-word. A lot of times in the comment sections, they'll be like, oh, well, you're not even from the Bay Area, so you don't even know our culture, you don't even know our history, etc., etc. Like, you don't even get to speak on it. Okay, then as somebody born and raised in the Bay Area who is a proud Asian American from East Oakland specifically, a lot of times when you check a fellow Asian on them saying the N-word and to tell them to take it out of their vocabulary, the first thing they will say is, oh, well, you don't know where I'm from, though. You don't know where I grew up. I grew up in a black neighborhood. I got black family. I got a black auntie, okay? What I'm hearing, again, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You could check me if I'm wrong. I'm hearing is you grew up with black people that you feel so comfortable to disrespect them. You grew up with black people, so you feel comfortable saying a disrespectful ass slur. That's what I'm hearing. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. How are you saying a slur that has no historical or ancestral connection to you and trying to justify it with the logic of, oh, well, it's the environment I grew up in? I'm from East Oakland. I grew up in the Dubs, bitch. I've never said the N-word. So I know you're not gonna blame it on your environment, because there's many Asian people who grew up in those same environments and never had the slur in their vocabulary in the first place. So it don't make no sense. Again, at the end of the day, when people use that as a logic to justify them saying a slur rooted in the enslavement, dehumanization, lynching, murders, R-word, SA of black American communities, because that's what the weight of the word is. When y'all use that logic of, oh, it's my environment, I grew up this way, as a way to justify being disrespectful and saying a slur that has no association with you, this is what I'm hearing. You grew up with black people, so you think it's okay to disrespect them. You're too comfortable to disrespect black people. That's what I'm hearing. What do you mean you grew up with black people, so you say the N-word? What do you mean you grew up with black people, so you feel so comfortable to disrespect them? But when somebody calls your mama a bitch, it's like, whoa, don't call my mama a bitch though. And it's like, well, but I didn't mean bitch in that way. I didn't mean bitch in that way. But you're still gonna take offense to it. So how does that logic not apply the same way?
Do đó, bây giờ mình phải cảm ơn mấy đồng đó. Chứ có mấy người đó họ phái cả mấy chục năm trước khi mà người Việt Nam mình tới đây đó. Do đó mình phải có được những cái ngay như thế. Họ giúp là vậy đó. Giúp tức là they change the way the white people are thinking. They, you know, they fight and they willing to die for it. Luther King died. Because mình mới qua đây đất nước của người ta, biết bao nhiêu những cái mình xây dựng mà công mồ hôi nước mắt, chứ không phải tụi mình thắng không có làm đâu.
With the history of solidarity also has brought bad blood. Natasha Harlan, Cyrus Carmick Belton, and Kobe Daniel, just to name a few. So what you done did in the past, don't give you a pass.
Not today, bruh.
What's up?